Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cop Ultra's podcast show. So, Liverpool are entering into a brand new era under Arne Slot. The club years delivered us plenty amounts of glory, but also left behind a team that is in need of a rebuilding. And now, Arne Slot has wasted no time making his mark. This summer has been one of the most dramatic transfer windows in the club's history. So, Alexander Isak has come in for a British transfer record fee, and finally, we have our world class number 9 that we were so craving for a very long time. And with the addition of Hugo Ekitike as well, who arrives to Liverpool, bringing this energetic forward option to our ranks, and uh, our other jewel of the window, which is our other British transfer record fee holder, which is Florian Wirtz, strengthens a midfield that was already refreshed by Jurgen Klopp last season with Alexis McAllister, Dominic Soboslai, Wataru Endo, and also Ryan Gravenberch. It's a squad that now feels balanced, modern, and incredibly dangerous moving forward. But here's the big question: how do these players actually fit into Arne Slot's system? And what are the formations and lineups that we could see this season? And also, how would we be attacking up front, and how would we be defending from the back? That's exactly what we are actually going to break down in this episode in our Copa Trust podcast. So, in terms of player fits and in the attack and in the midfield, I will bring you guys with the players whom we have. So, in terms of Alexander Isak, we have sort of like the complete striker who runs the channels, drops deep, can finish from anywhere with his left foot or his right foot, and he provides Liverpool basically with that focal point in attack and that sort of like the striker that we have not had since like prime Fernando Torres. And also he is basically more of like this crucial part of this jigsaw puzzle that Arne Slot has created. And for his structured attack, I think Alexander Isak is the perfect fit for this team. And when it comes to Ekitike, he's more of like the tactical wildcard of the team. He's very direct, very explosive. He thrives a lot in transition. He can play off the left. He can play as that second striker behind Alexander Isak, or he could also be that player who rotates with Isak during the games. So he's a perfect piece when it comes for pressing the systems that opposition players play, and he brings a lot of energy and chaos that disrupts the defense from time to time. And when we look at Florian Wirtz, he's more of like the connector, the creator, and he offers a lot of skill, a lot of intelligence on the ball, and he has that basically that line breaking vision. And he's not a rotational piece per se when it comes to Florian Wirtz. He is a guaranteed starter on the team who turns good possessions into goals and assists for us. When we look at the midfield core, we have the likes of McAllister, who is the calm controller. We also have Dominic Soboslai, who is that box-to-box dynamo midfielder who has that crazy shooting power. And we also have the likes of Ryan Gravenberch as well, who is a dribbler, who is a ball carrier, and who is the deep-lying midfielder in the team. Wataru Endo, who is our experienced shield in the midfield, who is a presence, and also Curtis Jones, who is a very tactically matured midfielder and also a versatile option for Arne Slot. And last season's refresh laid the foundation with Wirtz now added. Liverpool's midfield now has depth, it has intelligence and variety. It's built to suffocate the opposition and also dictate the tempo in the game. So now let's look at some of the formation options that Arne Slot could be using in this Liverpool team as we move forward into the season. So now let's have a look at that. Alright, so let's have a look at Slot's base system, which he played during his tenure in Feyenoord. So ideally, he would usually go for his base 4-2-3-1 system. So when we look at that, we could see Isak here up top. So he would be up here, and then we would see Florian Wirtz occupying the central position, being the sort of like attacking midfield and being the creative hub between the defense and also in the attack. You would see him to get the ball here from McAllister and also from Gravenberch, and then he would bomb forwards and also find four passes which are for Salah and also Ekitike or Gakpo. So he would have preferably Isak right at the top, and then you would have Florian Wirtz at the central, and you'll have Salah on the right, Ekitike or Gakpo on the left. So I put Gakpo as 18 here, as the one here, and this would be basically the attacking front. But when it comes into the double pivot position, you would see Ryan Gravenberch over here and Alexis McAllister. So this is basically the two players that he was using more of a pivot position last season as well. You could see in a lot of the games, and I think ideally he would preferably use this sort of formation and this double pivot style of play. And when it comes to the defensive end, I think it's fair to say that this is the go-to defensive players for Arne Slot is Kerkez in the left back, Van Dijk on the centre back for the left. On the right centre back position would be Ibu Konate, and then also uh, Jeremy Frimpong on the right back position. So basically, Frimpong and Kerkez would basically provide that width going up top, assisting Salah when they are attacking. So ideally, you would see, if I were to put Gakpo here, I would bring Ekitike over here, and then ideally you would see this sort of attack going in. So you would see a lot of bombing forwards from Kerkez, and also you would see a lot of bombing forwards from Frimpong as well. So basically, when they come into defensive mode, then they would just go into this position, and they would basically that basically allows Isak to be that lone man up front. And defensively it's very very solid, because you would ideally see Gravenberch go here in the defensive position, and then you would see Florian Wirtz come here, and then you could see that five at the back, and then you will see the midfield for and Isak up top here when it comes to defensive stability. So it's very balanced, it's very structured, and also it's his go-to option as well. So now with this formation being done, let's have a look at how the usual classic Liverpool formation, which is the 4-3-3, gonna look like. So for the second option, which is more of like Liverpool's classic base formation that we have followed under Arne Slot, not only just for Arne Slot but during the Jurgen Klopp era as well, which is our classic 4-3-3 formation. So the front three ideally would be Salah, Isak, and also Ekitike. I'll just bring them down here a little bit so it's visible for everyone to see. So it will be here, you'd see Salah, Isak, and Gakpo, and then on the midfield you could see McAllister going on for the deeper role, and then you would see maybe probably Florian Wirtz in the midfield as the advanced midfielder. And for Ryan Gravenberch's position, most probably it could be swapped together with Dominic Szoboszlai as well. So but ideally for me personally, I would feel Gravenberch is the more solid option in terms of being that deep lying midfielder. He has proven it time and time again, so I think it's fair to say that Gravenberch holds that position for me here. And it could be also Dominic Szoboszlai as well. I can change this to Dominic Szoboszlai. So for Dominic Szoboszlai, if it's Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Wirtz, I think ideally this would be the ideal, uh, uh, midfield three. It would still be Florian Wirtz. You could see McAllister over here and Szoboszlai being sort of like these box-to-box midfielders who would go up and down in the attacking end and on the defensive end, and also playing the defensive positions as well. So it keeps basically Liverpool's DNA through and through, and also it also improves the overall control as well. But yes, defensively there are a little bit of frailties here and there, because you don't have that solid deep lying midfielder or the defensive midfielder cover right at the bottom here. So ideally you would see Szoboszlai or McAllister being that particular deep lying midfielders or box to box midfielders who needs to make the defensive play here and then for the most parts of the game. And then ideally you would see Florian Wirtz just floating in and around in this penalty area, and also in this attacking third, also allowing Ekitike to move up forwards, and also for Salah as well. But previously, when we see the way Liverpool used to play under Jurgen Klopp, you would see the likes of Frimpong, which was trend at that time. He would bomb up forwards. So when he bombs up forwards, you would see Kirkes bomb up forwards as well. So when this happens, you would say ideally you have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players who are attacking. But in that sense, I think defensively it would be Soboslai who would has to make that sacrifice and be this defensive midfielder slash centre back option for Van Dijk and Konate, just to be that cover up front, and then you would see McAllister be here, and then or ideally you would see Wirtz and Mecca be here, and then you would see this 3-5-3 or 3-5-2 sort of position. So you would see Frimpong and Kirkes over here, and then you would see Salah just being here, floating in and around the central position and also in the attack. And also you could see Isak and Ekitike just rotating with each other, kind of like forming this as well. So Isak has that opportunity to also play on the left, which he has also done on a numerous amount of times when he was playing for Newcastle. So it's visible to see as well. So it's very, very interesting to see that there is an interchange of positions. So there's no one player hogging that particular position to themselves. So everyone is interchangeable amongst themselves. So this could also possibly happen. So you could see Salah being a bit more central, playing alongside Isak, and also with Ekitike as well. So ideally, this is how I would like to see Liverpool be in terms of following our sort of traditional 4-3-3 formation, which was used under Jurgen Klopp as well. So, Arne Slot likes to use these formations as well. So it's interesting to see how we are going to, start the team and who's going to be up for selection. So it's very, very interesting to see in that sense. So now let's look at another option of the formation where Arne Slot is able to utilize these players. Now, guys, for this formation, I think this formation is sort of like the all-out attack kind of formation, but you would rarely see these days, and I think it would be very interesting, and it could be something that Arne Slot most probably take into consideration, looking at the team that is lined up and the squad that he's got and the depth that he has. So this is basically the 4-2-2-2 formation. So this formation, I think ideally the last time I saw this was during the Brazil era. I think when we saw that sort of like that overload of midfielders that they used to have, and the wingers that Brazil used to have, like Kaká, Ronaldinho, the Ronaldos, the Rivaldos, the Robinhos of those times. They used to have so many midfielders. They used to have abundance of talent, and I think at those point in times they would use these formations just to scare opponents away, and not to give them an inch at all. It's just basically attack at all times. So this is sort of like my overload sort of system. So in this 4-2-2 system, I think everyone can have their own opinions in how they want their formation. So I think this one is a very interesting one that I can see. So this one, ideally, you would see Isak and Ekitike being the forward striking options, the twin strikers, the sort of like the traditional way where you don't have one striker up top being alone. You would have a partner with him. So it's going to be Ekitike and Isak. And then when it comes to the number 10 position, you won't have just one, but you have two. So this one, you would have ideally Florian Wirtz and Dominic Soboslai assisting Isak and Ekitike. So for the season that Florian Wirtz had played with Xabi Alonso, he did not play a lot centrally as well. For the most parts, he did, but at the same time, he also played on the left as well. So there is another option where he could be this attacking, number 10, who does not necessarily have to be that sort of like this, the running winger, or has to be that overlapping winger or needs to cut inside and shoot kind of player, but he can be sort of that creator who is a number 10 and at the same time who can play on the wings as well. So it's very interesting to see that. And also, I think Arne Slot could also tap into Dominic Soboslai's ability to play in the right midfield as well. So there were times that I have seen Dominic Soboslai play at the right midfield position during his time when he was playing in RB Leipzig. So a lot of the times you would see him being in this right midfield position and also being centrally as this central midfield option. He used to attack a lot. He was a lot of in the 10 position for the most parts in his seasons with RB Leipzig. So ideally you could see him there, and it's very very interesting to see as well. Last season and the season before that, which was under Klopp, we used to see Soboslai being, that particular midfielder who assists Salah in the right side of the midfield. So it's interesting to see that as well. So maybe, most probably, you never know, this could be one of the formations. And then in terms of defensive stability, you would see the same double pivots of two midfield. You would see Ryan Gravenberch and also you would see McAllister up here. So basically this formation just overpowers weaker sides, and it just gives them constant pressure, and it gives a lot of fluid attacking rotations as well. So for example, you McAllister has the ball, he needs to make that forward pass and he's unable to do it. All he has to do is make that forward run in order to find Ekitike, Isak or Wirtz. So Wirtz could ideally be here, McAllister could run up here, and Soboslai ideally not necessarily has to be in this number 10 or this wing position. He could just drop down right here and he could be that particular pivot in midfield. So it's very fluid. So it's super fluid. So McAllister not necessarily has to play on the wing positions as well, but his play will be a lot more centralized somewhere alongside Wirtz as well. So you could see this position as well. And for Ekitike, not necessarily he needs to be that particular partner for Alexander Isak. He could leave Isak to be that central striker, and at the same time he could play on the left, he could play on the right, just to occupy these spaces on the wings. And then ideally you could see Wirtz be here, or also Wirtz Ekitike can be on the left and also Wirtz be on the right, and then McAllister could be be these two midfield options. And you see right there, and this 4-2-2-2 has automatically become a 4-3-3, and it's still super dangerous. And you look at this fluidity, guys. You just look at this fluidity and you just tell me that we are not able to get goals from these players playing in these sort of formations. And you can put Gravenberch over here, McAllister could be a little bit more deeper, and so Soboslai instead can be this floating number 10 in this position as well. So a lot of attacking fluidity in this Liverpool team, not just for this formation but for multiple formations. But ideally, a lot of the times, Arne Slot is the sort of manager who likes to play different types of formations in game rather than setting his team up on the get-go when the whistle blows. So ideally, I mean, this is a very interesting formation, the 4-2-2-2. So let's go back and put them where they were initially. So yeah, so this is how the 4-2-2-2 works as well. So there you go. So these are some of the formations that Liverpool can utilize for the upcoming season here. Arne Slot's rebuild isn't just a tweak into the team, it's a transformation as a whole. And Isak basically brings more goals and link up play, and Ekitike adds energy and unpredictability. Florian Wirtz basically gives Liverpool the creative brain that they've lacked since Philippe Coutinho. And not forgetting the supporting cast as well. We have Salah, Gakpo, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch, and also the two wingbacks that we have in Frimpong and Kerkez. So this makes Liverpool one of the deepest and most versatile teams in Europe. With these signings, Liverpool can play multiple systems, can dominate possession, and still strike with pace. Slot has the tools to make Liverpool not just challengers per se, he can make them into genuine title contenders this season. So, with that being said, thank you so much for your time. I hope whatever I have spoken during the formation gives a lot of insight into how Arne Slot is prepared to take this Liverpool team to glory, and hopefully we can see some exciting stuff that the team is going to do. So we've already have 3 wins from 3, and I think we can just move on from there and then try to get as many wins as possible, because we have a huge set of clashes that are coming up this season and in this month as well. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Definitely do hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon for your notifications for more episodes from myself, and do keep yourself updated, from my channel. And also you can follow me on TikTok as well. I'll be posting these clips. I'll be posting clips of this episode on TikTok as well. You guys can head on over there. With that being said, thank you so much, and like I always say, you'll never walk alone, guys. Take care and see you soon.